Okay, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I have had a string of bad dating experiences, so
Really?
I'm feeling like I need to reset and maybe take inventory of what what my life choices are.
Right, right. Let's talk about it. What's going on?
um, well, I dated somebody in Seattle who came to visit me, and I think initially, when I'm dating somebody, I just don't see any of the red flags.
Hmm.
And so this has just happened a couple times where I think it's all, it was super positive, really excited to see somebody. And then kind of the second wind of getting to know them, I feel like I have just a polar opposite experience. And maybe it's that I'm so hung up on being liked by the other person that I'm
Mm.
not carefully evaluating if they have the qualities that I could see in a sustained friendship, even
Right.
um, and long term relationship. But I think the last couple people I've dated, it's almost like the rose colored goggles come off, and I'm like having such a different experience. And I'm hoping that maybe I can be more grounded from the very beginning.
Right. So
Yeah.
what's the pattern that you observe is that you are trying to win them over instead of properly assessing them?
Yeah. I think um, maybe I think it's probably for superficial reasons. Like, I think they're cute, or they have, like, there's something fancy about their job, or there's something that seems shiny. And then I'm like not really evaluating if they seem like a kind, or it's like later on, I'm like, I don't even know if they're a kind person. Like, they weren't even nice to the person at the restaurant. It's like little things where you're like, oh, this isn't, I don't know that this is somebody who actually moves through the world with other people in a way that seems generous and kind. And those
Right.
are really important things for me. Um, and that seems to be like something I should pick up immediately. So I'm just thinking maybe for superficial reasons, I kind of am willing to overlook it um, at the beginning.
Okay. So when did you come to this conclusion? Like after your last situation, or have you been aware of this tendency of yours?
I just had a conversation with my brother. He made this observation. He
Okay.
was like, What is it that you like about these guys? Like, what qualities about them have you found attractive? Because they seem like assholes.
Right.
From everything you've said, they seem like not good dudes. But that's just my brother.
Right. But he had a point though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
So what are some of those superficial qualities that you're resonating with?
Well, I think I immediately want to be with somebody who feels like fireworks. Like, I want it to feel exciting, and
Hmm.
um, so I think I overemphasize chemistry.
Yes.
Um, and then that's tough because when you actually start to become a real person to them and not an idea, and they become real to you, you're like, oh, I don't think there's a lot going on.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're doing a lot of projection. So
Mhm.
you're not dating a real person, like you said. You're dating your idea of them. So it's like there's this fantasy that you're trying to experience. So when you meet a new connection and they kind of like look like they would be a part of the fantasy, right? They have the aesthetic or they have the trappings of success that are associated with the fantasy. You kind of fill in the gaps. So you're not even dating the actual person. You're dating the person in your imagination. And then as
Right. And
time,
I'm doing the same thing. Like, I feel like there's all these things that, in earnest, like, I feel like I want to practice, like, being a certain way or coming across a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
even if I don't experience myself that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like I'm like eager to cook. I'm eager to like do a lot of things that I think like are not necessarily who I am, just myself on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like probably overperforming in ways that like project that I'm like this like just like super sweet, wholesome. Not to say that I'm not these things, but I feel like I maybe I've heard like a couple guys say that like I seem new to the world, and like that just seemed like a strange observation because I'm like 39. I'm like not new to the world,
Right.
but I recognize that like I probably over project innocence at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
as I don't know, a defense mechanism or something, because I'm like trying. I don't know why I do that actually.
So you're like over index on doing things that they will be pleased with.
Yeah, I'm like very fixated on like the other person's like needs and what it is that it looks like they're looking for, and then I kind of try to like become that maybe on some level.
Okay, so it's always different the way that you show up.
No, I don't think so. I mean, like, there's certain things, like, I know that I'm not a good cook,
Mm-hmm.
and so now I've been, like, trying to cook a lot, and then if I'm dating somebody, I'll try to cook for them. But I just also know, like, it's probably pretty easy for them to tell that I'm, like, there's a couple recipes that I've, like, kind of started to get down, but I'm, like, on a learning curve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. How long
Like a
have?
girlfriend of mine was just like, you should put on your Hinge profile, um, like looking to learn how to cook or something, just so that on the onset, guys are not putting these stereotypes on me as an Asian woman,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm like super submissive and like will cook and clean for them and all of this stuff.
Right. Right. So how long ago was your last relationship?
I would say it's been a year, and I didn't date for a while, and now I'm starting to date, but I'm like, uh, it's so weird for me. Like, really, dating is a skill set, and you have to be so discerning and just keep the momentum, like, just keep dating and dating. But I feel like my recovery, it takes me a long time to like absorb and recover,
Right.
even if I've gone on like a few dates with somebody.
Right. Okay. How long ago was like your last dating experience?
I mean, it was like this past week.
Okay. And how was that?
Well, it was the guy from Seattle who flew to LA to visit me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had like such high expectation. Like I built everything up because he was coming to visit. But then it was like the substance of the interactions were not there, and it kind of was a little off-putting for me because it just felt like there's so little connection, I guess.
All right. What do you feel like was missing?
I just honestly, I don't think we, like, we didn't really see eye to eye politically. Like, just conversationally, there was just a lot of things where it was like, oh, I, um, I think maybe he wanted somebody who was like deeply submissive, and I kind of think a little controlling behavior can be kind of fun, but I don't want that to be like a full-time dynamic with somebody. Like I like a guy who kind of takes control, and um but I don't want to feel I don't want to feel like I'm with somebody who's like super controlling over everything. I think that
Gotcha.
gets very tiresome.
Gotcha. Okay. Chat stage one. I don't know if you've been
What?
here when we go through like the stages, but there's like 4 stages of development. You're stage one in the development. Meaning that you project heavily. You're not dating a real person. You're just dating your idea of them. And you're making your decisions almost entirely off of how you feel.
Yes, very much so.
And the reason why you're putting so much pressure to perform is twofold. One is because you're anxiously attached, so you're afraid of being abandoned. But then on top of that, you built up the fantasy of who they may be so big that it creates more anxiety because it's like, I'm not that. So let me try to, do what I can to create the impression that I am a match for that. Right?
Right.
So you're trying to impress somebody that doesn't even exist.
Okay. Sad.
That's okay. That's you're getting awareness over it. All right. This is about learning. So what do we do with that? How do we start to change that? Just you starting to question it means that you're moving to like stage two. Because like stage one is mostly predicated on like being completely unconscious of this whole process. The first start moving to stage two is like you are becoming aware of your patterns, and then you start to consciously change them, right? So I think you're transitioning to stage two. Um, but what you have to ultimately do is start, like, anxious people, when they get activated, they tend to turn off their thinking brain and then just default to like their emotions and their feelings and their heart, right? Avoidantly attached people tend to turn off their heart and just default to their thinking brain, right? Soda's still popping, I know. So you have to start integrating your brain into this process, right? So you have to know what it is you're looking for and then actively look for signs. In other words, instead of just defaulting fully to chemistry, you integrate compatibility into the process. So there's nothing wrong with you checking in with how you feel around the person. But you also need to put thought into what type of person do you want to be with, right? What would make you compatible with the person, right? And really, before we can get there, you have to know who you are. You have to have clarity on who you are outside of any role that you play, job you have, accomplishment that you have achieved, right? Wipe away all your accomplishments, all of your relationships. Who are you? And like, if there was like a void, who are you there? Figure out who she is, because from that comes your boundaries. From that comes your values. From that comes like who you will actually be compatible with.
Yeah, I think that's so helpful because I probably enjoy the projection that somebody else is putting on me as well because it feels like, um,
Your audio got real low. Low.
oh,
I could barely hear you.
oh, I just put headphones in. Can you hear me? Okay, now? No? Okay.
I'll just unplug.
There
I
we
don't
go.
need
There we
headphones, I
go.
guess. That's better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was I saying? I mean, I guess a couple things. So, what's unique about dating in my late 30s is people are very life resume oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can tell your life resume, they can tell theirs, and like it's almost like you're seeing like does the math work between us?
Right.
And I find that is not a very sparkly way of dating,
Right.
and I really struggle with it. So I think I was like dating with intention, like um, like dating in a way that felt even conservative to me in the sense that like things just felt very buttoned up and like talking about like finance and marriage and just like all of that, but it was just really it was hard for me to feel any kind of romantic spark that way.
Mm-hmm.
So then I switched and I was like, I'll try and date the way I did in my 20s, which was like to not like lead so much with the resume, but just see if you can have fun with somebody and if there's like a spark. And so then all of a sudden I started dating guys who were like way younger, but also like did not have their lives together and were like not ready to like, like have a baby or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was like instant fun, but also instant like zero compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm leaving off, where I'm like, oh, obviously I'm like underneath whatever seems like a fun time. Like there's not really a whole lot of compatibility. But it's like I guess maybe I'm a little bit confused about like how do you go about finding the responsible, stable guy while also it feeling like it's still like can result in like a sparkly love connection.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the problem with that. The word spark that you're using. For your stage where you're at, spark for you is anxiety.
That's probably true.
So you feel anxiety and you label it as spark, right? But that anxiety is likely an early warning sign that this is not good for you. The connection is not good for you, right? So you're seeking out that feeling which you have historically associated with like love. You labeled it a spark, and you're only following the guys who make you feel that way, and those are the exact guys you probably should avoid.
Yes. I have heard this before from friends.
Right, right. So it's like that's it. It comes from a place of like you not having a frame of reference of what real spark feels like. So what real spark is it is not anxiety. It is you genuinely having fun with the person and then also being genuinely curious about them. That's what spark is. It's not like with your friends. You enjoy spending time with them and you are curious about what they have going on, curious about them in their lives, right? That same thing, romantic.
So
That's what you're looking
really,
for.
it's like looking for a friendship.
Right, but this is the person still turns you on. So it's slightly different, right? But that's like you enjoy that person. They still turn you on. So there's still desire present, but it's not scare. It's not like anxiety where it's like I may lose them or there's open loops are created. Like I can't figure this person out. So let me lean in so that I can figure them out. And leaning in is you becoming more and more invested and more attached. So real spark is just enjoyment. I just enjoy you. I enjoy spending time with you. Not I feel like, they say butterflies. That's normally an early warning signal. Like you text the person, they don't text you back. And it's like you feel that anxiety, but then that anxiety to you, it registers as just a strong feeling. You're not labeling it as anxiety. It's just, I feel strongly about this person. So it registers almost as passion. Oh, the guy that texts me back immediately, I don't get the time to feel that feeling. So him text me back immediately, that anxiety never triggers. So now I'm viewing him as boring. The other guy who was texting me back and then he disappears, and it's like that anxiety comes. That anxiety makes me want to lean in. What is he doing? Who's he with? Why is he not texting me back? Now you're getting invested. Now you're ruminating on him. And now you find yourself thinking about him more. And you're like, I'm obsessed with him. You're not obsessed. That's just how your attachment system works.
Yeah. I know, it's so tricky.
But that's the work. It's I'm giving you like a very like big picture overview of the work because I have like this four stage model where it's like progressively move up the stages, and the more you move up the stages, the more attractive you become, right? Because you just resonate in a different way, and also the better you are at picking the people you spend your time with. So anybody who wants to progress up those stages, they can schedule a 1 hour coaching call. This icon right here, hit that at the bottom of the screen, shoot me a message. I ask you about your situation. If I can help, I'll send you a link to book your call. Same thing is true for you, beloved. You want that call, but that's the work that's going to be done. It's going to be mainly identity work and positioning you. There's a couple of things. One, you have to know what real spark feels like. Two, you have to stop projecting and really see the person who's in front of you, right? Look for actual evidence of who you think they are. You should be able to point exactly to a trait, exactly what they did, exactly to a behavior that suggests that they're this type of person, right? No, I coach women now. Everybody has to get the 1 hour coaching call. And there's a lot more. There's a lot of work when you're at stage one, because we also have to deal with the anxious attachment, right? Because I was just on a coaching call with a woman today, and I was telling her how off-putting it could be because it's so overwhelming, just draining on both ends, right? So anxious attachment is another thing that has to go. But there's like a structured process of how you want to implement all these things, and there's also like the surface level like pool where you're dating in, which is dating apps. It's not ideal. The worst people to date are people who are actively shopping. Because dating apps, what are dating apps telling you? One, they're telling you that these people can't find nobody. That's the first thing. That's why they're on the dating app. Two, I'll tell you this, and this is maybe offensive to some people who are on dating apps. I gotta tell you the truth. The people who I know who are stage 3, stage 4, they're resonating high. Ikram, you hit this button right here. It's at the bottom of the screen. You hit that, shoot me a message, and I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help, I'll send you a link to the book, okay? But you have to hit me in the DMs. But what was I saying? Lost train of thought.
People who are stage 3 and
Right,
stage 4.
right. Stage 3 and stage 4. They like some of the most beautiful, enjoyable women that I've like encountered have told me like I'll never be on a dating app. They don't need to. That's just the truth. They don't have to be, right? Now, it's not the same thing as with guys, because some guys are trying to sleep with as many women as possible. So you have a guy who also doesn't need to, but he'll get up there just because there's more women, right? But there's a lot of people, they don't need to get up there. So it's an admission of I can't find no one. And then it's also, they can't find anyone because they likely have very severe attachment issues. So it's one or two things normally. It's either they are not emotionally available, so they're up here for fun, right? Or they have very severe attachment issues, meaning they can't make nothing serious or work with anyone. So they have to keep coming back up here. So the pool that you date in matters. So if you're going to be on a dating app, I'm not saying that there's no exceptions always exist, right? Exceptions always exist. It's not saying if you're on a dating app, you automatically fall into those buckets. But that's the vast majority of them. That's 90% of the dating app. That's 90%. I promise you. That's 90% of dating apps anywhere. So if you have to use dating apps, like I was talking to a woman today who has to use them, I'm like, okay, you have to mentally prepare yourself that you may have to go on 100 dates before you find Mr. Right. You gotta prepare yourself.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta prepare yourself.
Sounds terrible.
Because you gotta go through all the false positives. You got to go through all the false positives so you can do it. That's just, there's pros and cons to every approach. The con to the dating app approach is you're going to probably have to date a lot of people before you run into that person where it's a good fit, right? This is what it is. So it's like, you have to do that anyway? Not necessarily. Not really.
Well, I have met people grocery shopping.
That's good.
I've been asked out like 3 times grocery shopping recently. But I should probably I need to get out more.
Right. I always tell people to go to static environments. So static environments are defined as environments where you see the same people over and over again. That's the reason why it was easier to build romantic connections in school, and why so many people want to date their coworkers. Because when you're around the same people over and over again, it builds familiarity, right? It also increases your optionality. So you probably had the experience where there was a guy who you were around, maybe at work, maybe at school, who, when you first met him, it wasn't for you, right? It wasn't like repulsive or anything. He just didn't really register romantically. But then as you spent more time with him, you were like, yo, hold on. Yeah, right? You maybe developed a crush on him, right? But here's the thing. That same guy, dating app, you would swipe left on him. You would swipe left on him, right? So the static environments actually improve your options. That's only one benefit. Another benefit is there's a reputational aspect to static environments. Meaning, if I know the people you know and you know the people I know, I'm probably going to treat you better. It's easy to ghost somebody if I know I'll never see you again. I don't know anyone you know. They don't know anything when I know. You're just a stranger to me. That's dating apps, right? So yeah, I'll ghost you. I'll treat you bad. I'll say unkind things to you because what's the worst that's going to happen? with a community approach where reputation matters, you get two benefits. One, the person is likely going to treat you better because you're engaged in reputation management. Two, anyone who's a fucking weirdo, their reputation has already been set. So people may warn you about them. You go to the gym and the guy hits on you, right? The other girls are like, he's hit on all of us, right? And you're like, okay, well, never mind then. You know what I mean? You don't get that on a
Yeah.
dating app. You don't get that on a dating app. But you do get that in a static environment. It is the best way. It is historically, for all of human history, how we romantically connected. We've taken a community approach to dating, right? And part of the reason why things are so messed up now is because we're trying to reinvent the rules.
Yeah, that is help. I mean, I freelance. I'm a contractor, so I don't have like a normal work environment. But I would say recently, the contract that I've been on, somebody in that space has asked me out, and so I did briefly date them. But I would say their status and reputation versus how they are personally in relationship are so polar opposite.
Right.
So now I just have to keep that to myself.
Right.
In the work environment.
Yeah, and it's not just work. It's also like you can create your own static environment, or you can also like, things like hiking clubs or static. It's any environment where you see the same people over and over again. Here's another thing. Here's another gem. When you go into these environments, don't go there on the hunt for a man. Go there just to. I always say that dating problems are really downstream from social problems. So people who have dating problems, I already know they have a social problem. Why? People who have vibrant social lives typically don't have dating problems.
Okay.
Right? They typically find people very easily.
I'm telling on myself right now.
Right. Once you tell me you have a dating problem, I already know your social life is not that great. So you start, when you put yourself in these environments, also start making platonic connections. Right? Because you'll see a lot of people get introduced to someone they have romantic interest in from a platonic connection. So every platonic connection you make is a potential doorway to the romantic connection.
Yeah.
Right? So this is how it works. It's work. It is a long-term play. The allure and the insidious nature of dating apps is fast. It's speed. Right? But you sacrifice quality for speed.
That makes total sense. Well, I'm not on dating apps right now, and I'll try and meet somebody in static environments, or at the grocery store.
Yeah, at the grocery store.
Somewhere in the wild.
There you go. And you want to book that 1 hour call so we can go ahead and really get deep down, do that surgery.
Oh,
you know what to do. You know what to do.
I appreciate it. Thank you for being so patient and thoughtful.
Absolutely.
On this call with you. Yeah, appreciate it.
You take care, all right?
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right. Love how I explain that differently every single time. Good call, she willing to learn. Right. Glad nobody take offense to the dating app call out. Sometimes I make that point with dating. I was like, I'm quality. I'm up here. I'm on Tinder right now. I'm a good woman. Good woman. Are you though? Are you? Eva is in the building. What's up, Eva? Whoa, you came in very low. Say something else. Damn, Eva. I deleted Hinge today. Good. It's a good thing. Keep it deleted. Bobby cut the cord. I'm grocery shopping. That was a mistake. That's crazy, Eva. Yo.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi.
Hi. What can I do for you?
You good? Are you getting me?
Yep. There we go. I knew Danny was on it. She had the dog fight. Come on, Mr. O'Neal. Come on, Mr. O'Neal. Whoever accepted Eva did it in seconds. It was probably Danny. Danny on it. Danny, did you have a soundboard on your live? You rude. No, love, you're rude. Did you read what this is about? I was using the TikTok one. I was telling somebody, I was telling a girl I was dating last year, I was like, I need a soundboard for my lives. I need to get a soundboard for it. She was like, yeah, you should. Yeah, you should. No, she was dope. 1,000% worth it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one. No, Shorty was pressure actually. She was really pressure. She was dope. That was one with like the fashion, the style focused. We get through no calls. Don't give me a soundboard. It's gonna be comedy hour in this bitch. I am not to be trusted. I'm too childish for that. I literally have one in my cart right now on Amazon. It's been sitting there for months. I don't trust anyone in the queue, so I'm just taking them off. Hold on, let me see. Nah, I don't trust you either, big dog. If you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can request up. I will answer your question. If you have a problem, you can also drop your question in the chat. I'll answer it there. Just be advised. Callers get first priority. Yeah, they get first priority. Low key mad funny. Appreciate you, love. Why do I always meet love bombers on dating apps? How are you defining love bombers, Haley? How are they love bombing you? The ginger ale still going? I can't. I'm trying. I don't want to down it. We up this bitch burping, but yeah, it's still going. Extra spicy this time. Bought me $500 in gifts for a first date, and he told me he wanted to marry me after a week of texting. Well, I would say that's love bombing. How frequently has that happened to you though? Because you said always. So are you being hyperbolic, or did this just happen one time? I also take it you accepted the gifts. You didn't say he tried to give you. You said, oh, he gave me. Yeah, he definitely gave me $5,000 and a new car. My husband did that, and we've been together 8 years, married 4. He did what? Oh, he love bombed you and he stayed. Okay. 3 times, and I've had to call the cops on all 3. Well, I couldn't return them once I realized. What kind of guys are you matching with? This is a you thing. But yes, I did accept them. I'm not mad at you. There ain't no judgment on that. Hey, shit, I would accept them too. But you're definitely selecting for this though. I would like to see what these profiles look like. Were they all giving you monetary gifts to that degree? Okay, that would tell me you're definitely selecting for money at least. But this is definitely you. This is definitely a you thing. What are you trying to match with? And which app are you using? This ain't like, what's up, Jack? This ain't like a sugar baby website, is it? That's also important because those exist, by the way. Supa's on like some what do you call it? Dominatrix sites. Tinder, and not all that expensive, just masculine guys. How are you judging whether or not they're masculine? And Tinder, how old are you, Haley? Most on testosterone or something usually, so they're jacked. So these guys are jacked, and you're on Tinder. Well, we're getting closer to what the problem is. Are they young? Are these guys younger than you? No, they're my age or older. I'm 32. Well, we found out the culprit. Yes, you're on Tinder as a 32-year-old, matching with men who are 32 years old and are jacked. I can see the Monster energy drinks. I can see them. Yeah, this is all you, beloved. This is all you. Get off Tinder. Get on Hinge or something like that. I'm divorced. I don't know how to date. It's tough out here. Yeah, you could do better than that, though, Haley. Come on now. Let me look at your profile pic again. Give me a second. Let me put some eyes on it. Let me put some eyes on it. You look nice, Haley. So you shouldn't have any problem. But you gotta get off Tinder, though. Who told you to get on Tinder? Were you one of those situations where, like, before you got married, you were on Tinder? And then when you got divorced, you were like, well, I guess I'll just pick up where I left off, and then got on Tinder? Was that the situation? Joe Rogan playing on the Jeep speakers. Yes, exactly. Like I didn't know how to meet people my age. Gotcha. See, that's why they pay me the big bucks. I know these stories. I know how this shit plays out. You just went back to doing what you were doing before. It's not your fault, Haley, but you gotta get off Tinder. You're in danger, love. Stranger danger. 32-year-old male on Tinder ain't up to no good. He ain't up to no good, Haley. Okay? So if you're going to use dating apps, use a high-end dating app like Hinge or just Hinge. Honestly, there's nothing else out there. I would say Raya, but no, Raya's not going to work. What do you do for fun, Haley? What's your social life look like? Huh? What does your social life look like, love? What are we doing? Okay, Cupid. Is that still a thing? I don't trust anyone on OK Cupid. Someone on OK Cupid is still using AOL. Coach, you're advising for dating apps? No, but you gotta meet people where they are. Don't you have to show financial status for Raya? I just think you need proof of clout for Raya. But I go out for coworkers. Hold on. Hinge wasn't around when I got married, but I go out with coworkers usually and work a lot. Yeah, that's your problem, Haley. We need more of a social life, okay? Where are you located? Find some people in the chat for you to go out and throw ass with. We need you to have a better social life. That's the first step. Dating problems or really social problems. If you're having dating issues, it's probably because your social life isn't good. More than likely, that's the case. So coworkers aren't going to do it. They're probably lame. Coworkers are probably lame. They're probably lame. Coworkers usually are lame. So you got to find some other friends. You got to meet some more people. Put yourself in a static environment. If you're going to use dating apps, at least get on Hinge. You're still going to have a bad time, but you're going to have a better time than Tinder. I can assure you. Okay. Texas close to Dallas area. Look at God. I said we got to get you out throwing ass, and you are closely, you're in proximity to our ass throwing extraordinaire. Hannah, are you in the chat? She might be throwing them right now. If she's not here, she's the ass is airborne. Okay. Hannah. Haley is in Dallas. You know that? I'm cooking and cleaning. All right. Haley's in Dallas. So can you point Haley in the right direction? Where she can kind of like make friends, get social. We should be doing that in the chat anyway, connecting people. Not just, people who are in heat like Cece and Ariana, but people who also just need to make additional friends. See, there you go, Haley. Hannah just added you. Hannah, you're not in Arizona yet, are you? When do you leave, if not? I met someone from these lives. Hey, go ahead, Maya. Like in person? Who she meet? Spill the tea. Mr. O'Neill? Is it Mr. O'Neill? I'm about to start guessing. Is it Mr. O? Is that who you met? All right. Let's bring somebody else up. Because I didn't know Ariana was here. See if Lady Doll connects. If not, we'll bring Ariana up. Tomorrow we're going for mimosas. So Maya, you're not gonna tell us who you met? You're not gonna share with the class? Oh, she meant platonically. Do you know everyone's alive? I know the people who are in the chat. I don't know people who just watch. But this is platonic? Okay. This is a woman then. All right. Yeah, y'all should be making friends. Sure. Yes, another lady. Just don't switch teams, Maya. I don't want y'all getting drunk and you're like, you know what we should do? Have you ever where did the caller left? Okay. Let's bring Ariana up. Ariana.
Hi.
Okay.
So actually, my friend has a question for you.
Your friend?
I'm with her right now.
Okay. Hey. Let me talk to her.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. I'm actually glad she just pulled this live up, and you had like dating and relationship questions and answers. So I was like, how about I just go ahead and ask?
Right.
Although it's like something that I just want to know about.
Okay.
So I was asking, what if you like spoke to somebody for like over 6 years and like, you guys like started together as, 17-year-old, 18-year-olds, like, baby love. Then you guys grow together and then they end up like going to marry somebody totally different. While you guys are still talking, what do we consider that as?
They're married?
What was that? And they're married and they don't claim. Every time I'd be like, you're married, they'd be like, did you get me married? Like, what? What is that?
Every time you say they're married, what was their response?
Like, did you get me married? Like, they never want to admit it. They never post that person. It's like, it's just like, I don't know. I'm so confused.
How long have they been married?
For 2 years. But he told me that's his cousin and that it was an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
You see, so I was like so confused too, but when the love is like so real, like you just get blindfolded and you just fall for the lies.
Uh-huh.
But then then, and mind you, it was like he was talking to this girl this whole time before me and him met. But when I came into his life, it was, oh, you're my first girlfriend. Well, he was actually my first. So, I was like, oh, he's young, so it might be true.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's the
Yeah.
question here?
What was that?
What's
So
the
the
question?
question is it like always true to like fall for what, guys say, oh, yeah, I really love you, this, that, this, but on the other hand, they have something else going on, but they just never say anything. They just quiet. Like, what type of behavior is that? Because I study behavior and I totally haven't found a name for that behavior.
The
It
behavior.
might sound funny because, I've prayed about it. It's not something to actually laugh about.
Don't be wasting God's time with this situation. You got
What was that?
God. You
No,
got God in
I
heaven
couldn't pray.
rolling his eyes right now.
What was that?
You got God in heaven rolling his eyes right now.
I'm telling you, because God is like my beautiful daughter. Like, I've put so many things in front of you, to like give you like, signs. But I'm glad that now I've actually get to, realize that sometimes you gotta just take the sticks out of your ears and actually listen to the word of God and, try to kind of adjust to those things.
Right. So, how long have you been talking to him?
6 years, like I told you.
Like consistently for 6 years?
Yes, when I tell you like 6 years, like he went into the army, we were still together, all of those things. Mind you, he was married, and I don't even want to say because I might sound dumb on this live, but we recently seen each other like 3 months ago.
And what happened?
What happened? We got matching tattoos.
Okay.
And then right when I left, things just ended up like, boom. It was just, the tattoo is there to like just keep me like, that's a sign. If anybody comes across you, tell him what it's about.
So, okay, you got matching tattoos 3 months ago. Were you ever in a relationship with this person?
Yeah, so I'm telling you, we were in a relationship for 6 years, right? And then even before he like went out, because he asked me, he was like, do you want to get married? But we were not talking at the time. We were like arguing, But then to me, it sounded like, when you go into the military and you want the pay or you want, your benefits to increase because you have like a spouse, So I was kind of like, like we're not ready for that right now because first of all, you cannot propose to somebody while you guys are not even in good terms. Do you understand? So to me, it was like, no, I don't want to do that. Then the next thing I heard, oh, boom, he's getting married. But he didn't tell me. His brother had to tell me. And then he told his brother to keep it a secret,
Okay.
But then,
So y'all were boyfriend and girlfriend.
yes, for 4 years until he went to go get married.
So he was with you for 4 years, then he just went and got married.
Yeah, and then he went to Africa to go get married. Like, the girl's still not even in the U.S. Like, do you understand?
How old are you two?
I'm 23 and he's 25.
This makes more sense. This makes more sense. Okay. All right. Bless your heart. Okay. So you're asking why he's doing this?
What was that?
Your question is why he's doing this?
Yes, like, what is the reason? Like,
He wants his cake and eat it too. He wants to cheat.
he wants to cheat.
And you're the perfect person to cheat with, to be honest with you.
How do you, why would you say that?
No, he's just telling you, like, the guy just wants the cake.
Oh.
Right, yeah, because I mean, it don't take. What I mean by that is you're well aware he's married, and then you're getting matching tattoos. So to him, he's like, I struck gold. This doesn't take much effort. Yes, you're the perfect person to cheat with. So
So like the matching tattoos is just like, like an episode we've been through, da 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 da, So it's just like,
right.
honestly, I'm not saying I wouldn't even take it off, even if, I know that we're done. It's something that, I'm okay with because, it's something that relates to me. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to have to explain this to my husband one day. And I don't know if you're going to have to explain it to your wife because, you clearly say, oh, you're not married, this, that. So, and for guys, it's totally different because you don't have to really explain a lot, you know?
Well, I will tell you this. This is not someone to continue entertaining, right? Because he clearly doesn't mind lying. And when people don't mind lying, that means you can't be with them because they're just going to lie to you as well, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, love, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. He wants to cheat. He wants to have more than one woman, and he found someone who can make that a reality.
Thank you so much for that response.
No problem. You take care. All right. You ever talk to someone that's like they're not really there? You know what I mean? It's like, where are you right now? Because you're not here. You're not here. You're certainly not here. Where are you? You know what I mean? The responses weren't proportional to the moment. The tone was off. It's like, yeah. It's like it's someone who's just they're not even really listening to what you're saying. It's just like, yeah, yeah, right. But what about the other pair of shoes that we were looking at? You know what I mean? Like, not a thought behind those eyes. Sounds like a lovely girl though. Sounds like pressure. Shooters in the chat, y'all should shoot at that. Just ignore the tattoo. Just ignore. If you crack, just ignore. Ignore the tattoo. Because she's cooked for the nest, man. God bless who gets that nest. Because he's not getting. She's going to be still thinking about this situation. She's not going to be present with him either. Wish I could warn my brothers. I wish I could warn my brothers. That ain't the one to choose. She's not going to be with you for real. Hopefully not a King Von tattoo. Right. You can do the work and with the next man put up with it. Bro. Some dudes, you can see them actively making a terrible decision in real time. And I'm like, come on, man. Not that one. Come on, not that one. That's why I do what I do. I want to save my fellas out there, man. And now my ladies. I want to save my ladies as well. Just the ones in this live, not global, not worldwide. Somebody gonna save her? Yeah, she sound like she's very attractive. So I'm sure she'll get wiped out relatively easily. She's 23, so you gotta give her a little bit of grace. She's also 23. Give her grace. She's 23. She's young. She's young. She's young. She's not that young, but she's young. All right. She'll grow out of it, hopefully. That's your friend, huh, Ariana? That's your homie. Well, Ariana, let me tell you this. Men like myself, we judge the friend group. We judge. Don't let me spot a thought in your friend group. Don't let me spot. I'm not saying that girl's a thought. I'm just using this as an example. Don't let me spot a questionable friend in the friend group. I made that mistake before. Your girl, fellas, listen, hear me and hear me well. Your girl is not the exception. I promise you she's not the exception. I promise you she's not the exception. I promise you she's not the exception. Okay? If she with. Now, if there's one girl in the friend group like that, cool. They probably laugh at her, all that kind of stuff. If her friends are like that, Bad company corrupts good character. Friends are like that. Think about it, man. Think about it. You hang out with someone long enough, you'll start talking like them. Think about that. You hang out with someone long enough, you start talking like them, right? That's the logic. You hang out with someone long enough, you start talking like them. What do you think if they start sucking a lot of meat? What happens? How did I get there? Right? It's the same logic. The same logic. That bop spirit is transferable. The bop spirit is a jumper. Likes to jump from person to person to person. Okay? So be mindful. Not everybody a follower. And I got a hit dog. Hold on, let me see. We got a hit dog, people. I don't know. You know, you could have like disagreed and been like, I'm not gonna say anything. You start getting to verbalize it and getting a little close to home. Ooh, what do you do when she ghosts you? Just ghost her back. We both Casper in this bitch. I'm also deceased. You ghost me. We're both walking through walls. Diamond requested up. I don't know if that was an accident. It probably was an accident, wasn't it? It was an accident, Diamond? Of course it was. What's going on, big dog?
Hey, how's it going?
Chilling. What can I do for you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Perfect. No, I just saw your video earlier, and I just wanted to. You do like breakups and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so I broke up with my girl like 3 months ago, and we were in a 4-year relationship, long distance.
Okay.
She was in the UK, I'm in Dubai, and like towards the end of the breakup, things ended up happening where we got into like a big argument. For me, so to give a bit of a backstory, within the relationship, like there was always a thing where we would always communicate. We would always talk about things not to post, things that would make me uncomfortable, and we would always talk about that. And there would be things like she would post bikini pictures on her Instagram, and she would not ask me. And then when I would try to confront her about it or like talk to her, she'd be like, I thought we talked about this before. She would always either be like, go to the gym and take the stress out, or like, just deal with it. They would always be like, it's my way or you deal with it kind of thing.
Right.
And that kept happening throughout the relationship. And I tried to either let it slide, or I try to like show her, okay, I said, I know you want to be posting stuff like that. Let me buy you bikini sets, things that would make you happy. But it kind of backfired on me. And then towards the end of the relationship, when things like that did happen, and I let it slide, I kind of said a few things, like I called her the H word for doing that. Obviously, that's like the first mistake that I had done. Then we went into no contact for 2 weeks, and then we kind of broke it off. And there was like no like closure or anything. It was just like, you said this, I need to think about it now. And then it was just like, okay, we're ending things. And now I'm left like within 3 months, and I just feel like there wasn't a proper closure. We were together for 4 years. We did everything together. I mean, yes, it was long distance. It wasn't the best, but we had like future plans made. We thought about doing everything, traveling the world together. And then all of a sudden, just like one night, she was just like, no, I don't want it anymore.
Did you break up with her?
No, she broke up with me on a Zoom call.
Zoom. Damn.
Yeah,
Like
so I didn't even get like an in-person kind of thing.
That's like you got
Like,
fired.
I know I messed up by saying a few things that I shouldn't have said, but I feel like, I mean, I'm not going to justify that at all, but there wasn't enough closure or anything like in the relationship to be like, you know what, I don't want it to continue. It was just more like, okay, you said a word, I need to think back, I need to look at this and that. There was no like feelings considered about what I had said, but her posting things or like things that I had said before. It was just like, okay, he said this, and I'm just gonna go with that.
Right. Well, if you get broken up on a Zoom call, I think you legally are obligated to get severance pay. That's too professional of a breakup. So I will look into that. The second thing though is you said 4 year long distance relationship. How did y'all meet?
So say that again.
You said 4 year relationship, long distance. How did y'all meet?
So she was in Dubai. She was doing her last year of school over here, and I met through a mutual. And then one night we just hit it off, and then I asked her to come out for a few nights. Every time we would go out to like a mall or something, she would just be there. And then because I liked the vibe, I liked hanging around with her, going to movies, talking with her.
Right. And how frequently did y'all see each other like over the 4 years?
Well, when she would come over, or in the beginning?
Just in total, like over the 4 year relationship. What was like the cadence of you seeing her in person?
So she would do uni in the UK. She'd go for like 2 months and then come back for 2 months.
Okay.
In the beginning of the relationship, it was okay because that's what we agreed on.
Okay.
But then like towards the middle, like the second year of her going to uni, she was more like, you know what, I need you to come over there, or I need you to be there when I need you. So I was like, okay. And I was slowly starting making money as well. So I got myself into trading. I ended up making money off that. So I was like, listen, let me buy you tickets out to Dubai, so that way you don't feel lonely whenever you have days off. But she would always be like, no, I need you to come over here. I need you here, or else it's just not going to work out. She would give little hints here and there where if you don't come to the UK, it won't work out. It's either here or I'm not going to Dubai. So I did do that 3-4 times. I went out over there 3-4 days, whatever. Saw her, had a really good time. But even that wasn't enough. Like I know with long distance relationship, it's a lot harder, and we knew that together. Like we knew that, okay, we're going to go into this for 4 years. We're going to do uni there. You're going to come back over here because our families here and see each other maybe 3 months, 3 months on and off. But I don't know, things just changed, and she was like, I'm not having it. And she still has 1 more year left in her uni, which is a bit annoying because I would have loved it to like go out for a whole year, see how things work out. Because before she broke up with me, I was making really good money, so I was thinking about going over there or like bringing her out over here, to take her to like a nice place elsewhere.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. How old are you two?
She's 22 now, I'm 23.
All right. This makes more sense.
Yeah. We met when she was 18 and I was 19.
Gotcha. Okay. So, what's your main question here, bro?
So it's been 3 months, and I'm still struggling, like getting over things. I'm still trying to get myself back on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
I've been blocked on everything on Instagram, TikTok, Zoom, I guess you can say that, and some other stuff like Telegram. So and the thing that I do that annoys me as well, because I keep doing it more often. Like I'll have a fake account, I'll go on a fake account, see things that I don't want to be seeing. She's a whole different person now compared to like when I had her when I was in a relationship with her. Like she'd be posting things that I've never seen before. So it kind of messes up with my mind, and I know she's single now. She can do whatever she wants, and that's fair. But it's just, for me, it's just hard to still get over her, knowing that I'm still thinking about all the good moments, everything that we had, and she's already moved on.
Right. Yeah. First heartbreak?
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. Yeah, it's rough. You'll get past it. This happens to all of us. Right. I think the fact that it's long distance makes it hurt a little bit more.
Yeah.
But okay. So let me address the relationship first. You kind of let her walk all over you.
Yeah.
Okay? You can't do that. Because one, it's you like disrespecting yourself. That's the first thing. And two, no woman likes that. Even the women who are very controlling, they resent you for letting them control you. They don't. No women likes that shit. They don't like that shit, man. They don't like it. Okay, so attraction dips. So think about that. You're letting her control because you don't want to lose her. And through letting her control you, you guarantee that you lose her. Because she stops being attracted to you. Right? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing, you calling her the H word, like you said, was you trying to control her. That's not how you play that. I tell guys, one of the reasons why I teach guys how to be more attractive and be more desirable, because I want them to get to a place before they get into a relationship where they have true abundance and optionality. Because I want them to know what that feels like, right? And I want them to keep that, because when a man doesn't feel like he can get another woman, not saying that the woman he's with is replaceable, right? Because she's not. But when he feels like he can't just get another woman, he puts up with anything in the relationship. And then when he puts up with anything in the relationship, the woman loses attraction. And then when she loses attraction, shit gets wicked. When they ain't want you no more, shit gets wicked. So then, especially the young ones, so then she leaves. So now you're thrusted into no man's land, and you don't know your ass from your elbow, because you don't know how to get nobody else. So you still, you fit say I'm trying to get her back, right? It just puts you in a bad spot. Now, if you know how to be attractive, right, and you get into a relationship, you can do what is called keep frame, right? You keep yourself centered. You don't do too much bending. You compromise. You do what's necessary in a relationship, but you don't get disrespected. Because at the end of the day, you know, if shit goes too far, I'll just leave because I know exactly how to get into another relationship. That energy is felt by the opposite sex. That's felt by your woman, right? She knows you can go out and get somebody else. And that influences her to, one, be more attracted to you, right? And then to lean a bit more into the connection, not disrespect you as much. You don't want women to ever feel like you need them. They want to feel like you chose them, but they don't want to feel like you need them. And if you aren't someone who can go out there and attract other women, they're going to naturally feel like you need them, because it's kind of true. They're your source of validation. They're your source of good feelings, right? They're your only source of any kind of physical intimacy, right? Even if they leave you, they're still your only source because you can't get it anywhere else, right? They know that, and it's kind of repulsive. It's repulsive, right? So I'm just telling you that so that you know how to proceed moving forward, because I want you to position yourself in a better way so that you don't have this problem moving forward. Now, when it comes to, so let's say you came with that energy in this relationship, and then she started posting bikini pictures. What you would say is, you can post what you want, but I just want to let you know I'm not really comfortable with you posting that. That's it. No argument. Just let her know that, right? And then you watch. You see what she does. You don't call her name. You call her names, you acting out. It was like a toddler moment. It was like she wouldn't do what you want.
Well, not to be fair, but it was more like she would be posting a lot more, so it would be going on for like months, and then it got to a point where I was just, I just kept seeing it. I would mention it here and there to her, but then it got to a point where she
normally didn't post that way.
No, she never did. She was very respectful. Like, she would be posting things because she would be in the same business as me.
She was setting up to play. She was setting up the play. One thing a lot of women do, especially younger, more undeveloped women, developed women don't do this as much. The younger, undeveloped women do, though. They will, one, break up with you while in a relationship with you. So they'll break up with you mentally and emotionally. So they'll grieve you actively while in the relationship. But then a lot of them don't want to leave the relationship until they have another guy to jump to. This is called monkey branching, right? So she was posting those pictures because she was effectively marketing herself. She already knew she was out. She already knew she was out. So she was marketing herself. She was finding her next man.
Okay.
So you being like, take those pictures down. You're like, hey, this guy doesn't know he's already out. I'm keeping these pictures up. You can complain all you want to. You calling her what you call her breaking up with you for, that ain't why she broke up with you. She already made the plan to break up with you. That was just a justification. It was a very clean way to justify her ending it. Oh, you called me a name. You know what? This isn't working. I'm out. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, where do we go from here? You're already blocking everything. Stop looking into her, right?
Yeah, no, that's like my kryptonite. I keep like I'll go days where I'm like I'm doing well, and then I'll just have a day where I'm just I don't know. I'll either go to boxing or go to the gym, and then just after that I just feel like a huge emotion just like come out of nowhere, and I just feel like the urge just like crying, talking to someone, whatever, and then my first thought is it goes back to her. I don't know why. It happens every single time. So I'll be good for like 3, 4, 5 days, but
Right.
back at it again.
Right. It's going to take time to get out of your system. Again, you want a 1 hour coaching call, you can hit this little icon at the bottom of the screen. Just shoot me a message and I'll be in touch. But we can go a lot deeper than we're going now. But it's just surface level. You're going to want to feel those feelings. Don't look at those feelings as I need to do something with these feelings. So you're feeling it and you're like, what is she up to? Just feel it. Feel the pain. Admit that it hurts. Because it's going to hurt for a while. This is 4 years. This is your first significant relationship. First real heartbreak, right? Understand it. She sounds like she bad. She's pressure, ain't she? She look good. Shoot me her at in the DM. I want to see what these bikini pictures look like. I'm just playing. But here's the thing. So she did you a favor by blocking you, so you can't look at her no more. That actually helped you. Blocking. You're making it worse on yourself because you're creating the fake accounts to look at her. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Feel the emotional experience, right? Process your emotions. You process an emotion by feeling it, not thinking about it. You got to feel it, right? So when you feel the emotion, when you think of emotions as like just physical sensations in your body. So when you feel the emotion, you want to say like, where do I feel this? What does it feel like? You kind of lean into the feeling, right? Like if somebody's rubbing your back, you focus on the rub, right? Think of that as like an emotion. You feel that. When you feel it, you're processing it. When you process it, you release it, right? When you act on it, you're not really releasing it. When you're thinking about it, you're not really releasing it. When you suppress it, you're definitely not releasing it. But when you feel it, you release it, right? So when those moments come, just feel it. And then it'll kind of grow like a wave and it will descend like a wave, right? When it descends, you know that you've done one cycle of processing. And this is a moment where you can really make a lot of strides. You can do what I call turn the pain into progress, right? So you can transmute those emotions because emotions are just energy, excess energy. Emotion is energy in emotion, right? So emotions are just excess energy. You can use that excess energy and deploy it towards a meaningful goal that you have. This is why guys tend to get in the best shape of their lives when they get heartbroken. Or make an album if they're like a musician when they get heartbroken. Because they're just putting that energy into something. Right now you're putting that energy into researching her. You're using it for the wrong reason. Use it for something. When you use it for something, you weren't hurt in vain because you were able to create, build, perfect with this energy. So now you turn something negative into a positive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. There's more. If you want a coaching call, let me know. But that's enough to get you started, my brother. Okay?
All right. I appreciate the advice. Thank you very much.
No problem, dude. Best luck to you, all right?
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right. Good guy. Hopefully he takes that advice. No more fake accounts. That's rough though, especially if she finds shit. And then it's long distance, so he can't even hit her with that why I oughta. Why I oughta. Turn the pop on her ass. But 4 years long distance is mm-mm, mm-mm. Long distance relationships is scary stuff. I can do long distance, man. You know what I thought? Coach needed his soundboard for that, right? I thought I couldn't. I've had some experiences over the last year or so. I'm like, actually, I could do it. I could do it. Not long term, though. Not years. No. And you know, knowing that I could opens up a whole new world. You mean I'm not constrained to North Carolina anymore? Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Kid in the candy store. What are they like in Germany? It would definitely need to be a short term. Yes, yes. I always say, like, once you get into a relationship and it's long distance, you're on the clock. You're on the clock. You need within a year, you gotta really like start thinking about closing the gap. A year is enough. I think max I can do like every other month, as long as like me seeing the person is like a week long or something like that, at least. I can do every other month, depending on how long distance it is. If it's like, let's say like if it's long distance. Gotta have the right temperament, confident in yourself, connection, communicative, but not clingy. Right. Me and my anxiously attached past, no, couldn't do it. Me now, insecure, sure, I can do it now. I don't suggest anyone who's anxiously attached do it though. If you anxiously attached, don't even think about it. Unless you're dealing with someone who's secure. If you're dealing with someone who's secure, you can do it as an anxiously attached person. Spending a week of time with my person would trigger me so bad when they leave. I hear you, but you have to also understand, Hannah, I got ADHD. So it's almost out of sight, out of mind. Almost. I don't really experience missing people like that. Not really. So with the busy lifestyle that I have, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And out of sight, out of mind. Long distance relationship get talked about badly. That can make you work on communication and maintaining attraction. Right. Yeah, I don't have any neurodiversity, but for real, when I'm doing my own thing, I'm zoned in. When you're busy, it's a little easier. I have ADHD and miss people, but also get both sides of that. Yeah, I won't say like it's you never miss people. Like something can trigger me to miss the person, but I don't miss people like a neurotypical person would. I really don't. I really do not. Nah, I'm so clingy. I got you. That's what I mean, man. You gotta have other things going on. You gotta have other things to fill your tank up. You gotta have other things to fill your tank up. I've also, is Danny here? Because Danny, I had experienced something relatively recently where like I was dealing with somebody and there was like some ambiguity in the connection. And with that ambiguity, I remember being anxious. I remember being very anxious with the ambiguity, and it was like unsettling. But then I went through another experience last year where there was ambiguity. It's like a pullback, something like that. I was anxious. So I'm like, did I increase capacity? So I'm curious, Danny, your experience, because you come from anxious as well. Have you noticed yourself increasing in capacity in any way as it relates to your anxious attachment? Danny said, let me call in. Let me call in. I'll take Danny, Kiana. That's it, though. No more calls after that. Shoulder. What's up, big dog? What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Yeah, to answer your question, I do feel like it's gotten better. I do think in ambiguous situations, that's just. I feel like you just somatically respond to that. I think it's normal to be anxious when things feel really unsure or uncertain.
Right.
But I do feel like, for example, that last person I was seeing, I mean, I felt relatively fine for like 8 months, you know, and this was someone I liked. It was someone that mattered to me, and she never made me feel anxious at all.
Right.
Surprisingly, I didn't feel any kind of strong emotions until the end. And it wasn't really anxiety. So,
right.
I think that's a sign that my capacity is definitely getting better in these situations. But I think when you have bad matchups, I think you normally start to get more anxious when they start being weird.
Yeah, I think also when you progress up the stages, I feel like you feel less anxiety because part of progressing up the 4 stages is you have more presence. So the lower stages are predicated on you either projecting into the future or living in the past, right? So take a stage 2 person, stage 2 woman, who got hurt in some way, right? Maybe she has a betrayal wound. Stage 2 person is living in the past because they're always looking at the connection through the lens of their wound. So everything that is occurring, they're looking at it as a sign that this person is going to hurt me in that same way.
Okay.
So it distorts reality a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a client about this today. It distorts reality. And she agreed where it was like that was her experience with, she went through something with her ex-husband and then that caused her to overcorrect with future men, right? But she wasn't vocal with her ex-husband. She didn't really stand up for herself and then got divorced. And with future men, she started really standing up for herself. But she was looking at things like she may have addressed things that didn't need to be addressed.
Oh, okay.
Because that wound caused her to distort. It's similar to the guy who was saying that his woman was beat on by her ex. And when he started talking with his hands, she would recoil. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's like it distorted, right? Like trauma lives in the body. I understand that. What I'm saying, like that past wound distorts her perception of the present. And it made someone talking with their hands seem like he was about to why I oughta her in the face again, right? So it's like that's very evidenced in a stage 2 type of person. But then as you progress up, you start to become more present.
Okay.
And stage 4 is ultimate presence. They still have a little bit of like projecting to the future, going to the past, but stage 4 is the only person that's fully like right here, right now with you. When you get to 3B, you start getting there, and then that's what triggers the fear, because it's like the same thing that is so alluring and attractive and compelling about you, which is your presence, is the same thing they run from.
Huh. That's interesting.
They're like, I like him because of these things.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, he sees me for real. I don't like being seen. I don't think I'm a match for that. I think I'm going to like mess this up. I don't think I'm good enough. Right? They dip out. So, yeah. But yeah, the capacity thing was very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like I feel like a learning curve for me is understanding or being aware of the difference between when that somatic response is information and when it is my attachment or wounds responding to a situation. Just trying to learn the differences between the two. Because I imagine there are times where it makes sense to be anxious, that's
Right.
information that you
Yes.
take where you're like, okay, this is clearly a bad matchup. This person's clearly being ambiguous or messing around, and it's time to leave this situation. Versus the times where I'm just being hypersensitive.
That's an unlock. You just give me an unlock. Think about, okay, when you feel anxious, remember, when you feel anxious, you turn your brain off. Or at least your brain gets possessed, it gets taken over.
Yeah.
But you're still thinking, but you're thinking about things through the anxious attachment. You need to think about the anxious attachment.
Okay.
So instead of thinking through the anxious attachment will be like, oh, he or she said this and it really means that, or what's he, I bet he's with that bitch, right? That's thinking through it. Thinking about it would be like, I'm anxious right now. Why am I anxious right now? Okay,
Yeah.
because that happened, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, you're kind of zooming out when you're thinking about it and you're looking down on it. And through that process, that's how you can kind of like separate the wheat from the chaff, right? The weeds from the chaff. So it's like, you'll be able to discern like if this is something that is real or if this is something that you're just getting triggered about.
Okay. So far, the only thing I've been able to do consistently is acknowledge that I'm being anxious. Like, I know when I'm anxious, or even know when there's like a strong emotion that's, if I don't necessarily feel the anxiety, if there's like a strong emotion that's pulling me to do something, and I just stop and I just kind of sit, essentially stay in the pocket, just sit still. And about in like 10 minutes, you'll be fine. Your mind will be on other things, and this, chances are, if it's not a problem, it's just gonna blow away. If you're just looking at something small or inconvenient.
One of my mutuals up here, his name is Star. He made a video about this. He was talking about rumination. This connects to the anxious attachment thing. He was like, rumination is not like you're having thoughts. He says you're having responses to your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So just break the loop. This is why practices like meditation are so helpful. Because if someone hasn't meditated, they don't even know what I'm talking about. They don't know that they aren't their thoughts. They never had that separation.
Yeah.
They never separated their self from what their brain is saying. To them, the experience is unified. They are their thoughts, right? I've even had practices where I've told clients to talk to their anxious attachment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's times like when I'm ruminating. I mean, I can ruminate for a minute, but it gets to the point where I catch myself and I counter-argue the rumination. Or I kind of use, the same deduction I use when I think of other things to rationalize against the rumination. Like, this doesn't make sense because A, B, and C.
Right.
Like 10, a teaspoon of brain cells, and we can clearly reach a better conclusion than what I've been ruminating about. And that's kind of how I've been combating it. But I guess even, kind of talking to you and learning that the feeling itself is never going to go away. You just learn to manage it. And now that I understand that, I'm developing ways to manage it.
Right. I was talking my other client, I was talking about the same thing. And so many anxious people work with me. But it's like, yeah, you just accept the anxiety. You don't have to do anything with it, man. You don't have to do, like, part of the whole present thing, because even the rumination piece is predicated on like you living in the past, right? You're not in the here and now.
Mm-hmm.
To accept it as just a feeling requires you to be like stage 3. You're probably not going to achieve that stage. You're definitely not going to achieve that stage 1. You're definitely going to struggle trying to achieve it stage 2. But around stage 3, now you can start making the distinction between like, I don't have to engage this. I don't have to take this seriously because I could just instead focus on something else. I can acknowledge it, but like, they don't have to rule me, right? Like, I'll have like spikes of anxiety with people that I've dealt with in the past, and it's like, I just notice it. At this point now, it's just like I notice it. It has no influence on behavior at all, but it's just noticed. I notice it. I just keep doing whatever I'm doing, because the presence, like if you're focused on it, you just forget about it. when you're present, things roll over. Say for instance, someone says something that offends you. Stage 2 person is ruminating on it. It's the moment has passed. The moment has passed. They're still thinking about it. The shit was said 5 minutes ago. They're still thinking that motherfucker. And you already know how I feel about that, right? Stage 3, stage 4, it's said. They notice it. And they just go focus on wherever the conversation is going.
Right.
And then focusing on the present moment crowds your cognitive bandwidth. It makes it so there's no room to focus on that anymore. Because you're so focused on what's happening right now, there's no more room to focus on what was said 5 minutes ago. See what I'm saying? So when you get present like that, which is a byproduct of moving up the stages, and again, if you need help moving up the stages, schedule your 1 hour coaching call. This little icon at the bottom of the screen. Hit that, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation, and if I can help, I will show you how you can book your 1 hour coaching call. It comes with 2 weeks of DM support. Okay. So being present like that is going to be very key. Solving a lot of problems, let alone the whole anxious attachment thing.
Yeah, I think that's where my edge is. I feel like I'm forming the materials. I just need to build the ladder, metaphorically.
Yeah. Takes practice. Then you find little tools, right? I think the tools help. Like one, you want to know like the regulating tools, right? Like especially if you get really activated. We talked about historically hugging yourself. That can kind of calm you down, regulate your nervous system. You don't want to depend on those though. You want to have, those are like breaking cases of emergencies. Like if you really want to reset your system, go throw cold water in your face. Like if you're really freaking out, like with Buddy, when he got broken up with. And he started seeing, she's shaking them tatas and Instagram carried, I'm single. Whoa, imagine that. Imagine you're shorty on a different continent shaking her tatas on the camera saying she's single. I would be hanging on the wing of a Spirit flight. Because I couldn't book a ticket. The flight is booked. I'm hanging on the wing. I got goggles on and shit. I'm hanging on the wing of a Spirit flight. I'm gonna get your ass. I'm gonna get your ass. I'm coming. I got good grip. I'm coming. So, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. With my fucking cartoonish brain, lost train of thought. What was I saying before that?
We were talking about how this kind of applies outside of anxious attachment, and then given a situation like that, like there'd be a normal emotional response to that, and then you got into how you'd be on a flight for her ass. We saw her throwing it in a circle on the gram.
I forgot where I was going with that, but anyway, yeah, that's. Oh yeah, you want to have these tools, but these tools are only going to be they're going to be Band-Aid solutions. So like regulating your nervous system is Band-Aid solution. I don't think using your connection with God is. I don't think that's a Band-Aid solution. I think that's very helpful. That's still with everything. The act of surrender, everything. Do you have a financial concern? That's yours. Health concern, that's also yours. Right? Anything that's result oriented, that's yours, right? And it's like, it's so peaceful. It's so peaceful.
Yeah.
It really does. You know what it's like? People say they wish they can go back to being a child again. Ooh, this can be a sermon out of this. People say they wish they can go back to being a child again because when you were a child, you had no worries.
Right.
But you can. You just have to be born again. That's how you access the childlike state again, because that dynamic still exists. You just had the earthly parents who did it. As an adult, you have the Heavenly Father who does it, and now you can tap into that same like childlike wonder. That is good. Why is no one talking about that? Someone write that down. So that messed too fast. I gotta finish. Probably go for the one. Okay, cool. So, in the present life, I was a pastor, possibly. Past life. Maybe this in my future. Who knows? Anyway, so, yeah, I think that's still the best, like, way to regulate.
Yeah, and I do agree. I think I kind of started the work of digging deeper. It's just something I need to continue as well, besides just regulating and just giving my worries to God. I feel like it's a combination of how my father and mother were present in my life growing up, and I think the other half is being neurodivergent. I feel like both those pieces played pivotal roles in how I was kind of molded as a child.
You said your parents neurodivergent?
I know my father's. My mother probably is too, if I'm being honest with some of her behavior, but
So y'all just in the house with helmets on.
yeah. They were some good looking people on the TISM.
Right.
So fruit didn't fall far from the tree on those aspects, but definitely a big nerf on socializing and dating for sure. When you aren't taught right.
Right.
I know my dad was not. He did not have much game. He was just a good-looking man.
Hey, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I told people my grandfather, like, he told me story. My grandfather has no game. He's kind of suave, but like, but like, he was a very handsome guy. Like, when he was young, I've seen pictures. You had me beat Gramps. Smooth in the motherfucker. He say girls used to line up at his bus stop. No, at the bus when the bus got to school, just to see him. I'm like, damn, must be nice, Gramps. Having the cheeks thrown at you like that. You got all the Arianas waiting on you. And Ariana's friends being like, even if you married, I still want it.
Yeah.
Even if you married, that don't change nothing. I still want it. Let's get matching tattoos.
You got me fucked up.
It's crazy, bro.
I feel like it's a bit of that. I think I saw my sisters, like one of my sisters met her husband in middle school. They dated ever since.
Oh, middle school, wow.
My other sister met her husband in high school.
Okay.
They are married ever since. So I think I had like a pressure to kind of, or I felt a sense that like I wanted that kind of relationship too when I was younger.
Right.
So I definitely over-indexed on that. Obviously with like the poor social and development and
when you say you over-indexed on that, where you were trying to make that happen?
Yeah, I wanted that too.
Okay, that's understandable.
Or at least I wanted like a profound relationship. Like, I think I kind of fell into the same trappings a lot of nice guys did.
Right.
I think part of that's just not having a strong masculine influence.
Right.
Boundaries and privacy were like not real things in the household I grew up in.
Right.
Because I had so many siblings and my stepmother was a little tyrannical, but I ended up outgrowing a lot of that by the time I read No More Mr. Nice Guy, but it gave me a lot of clarity on why I was that way, which helped me grow from that. Still working through the adult children of emotionally immature parents, which is making me more aware of why things were the way they were growing up. So I think half of it for me is like definitely the education part, and then I get better at execution. Eventually I embody kind of what I learn. But I'm starting, I get some of the core pieces. I think when I'm done with school, I plan on booking a call with you and actually hashing this out properly.
Right.
And not Frankensteining it.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. It's I mean, you're doing a lot of the work. No More Mr. Nice Guy. There's so many clients that I've recommended that book to. One in particular that comes to mind, because he was fucking. Dr. Robert Glover did some really good work with that one.
Yeah.
Because that is a real phenomenon. But you're breaking generational curses. I've told my family, I'm like, my son is going to get all the game. Not too much though. Because
absolutely.
Hopefully he's not like me. If I knew this in high school, somebody would have been pregnant.
Yeah.
I know me. I'm not very risk averse. It's a typical ADHD thing, right? ADHD people, they're not very risk averse. So I know me. I would have been like, oh, I'm special. This doesn't apply to me.
A lot of this is why I don't want any more than 2 kids.
Really?
I have them. I want to make sure they have all the attention they need, the proper fathering.
Right.
you know, and I think that includes not having too many kids, making sure I'm present as a man I need to be for my family, son or daughter.
I don't know if it works too much like that. I'll have as many as my nuts will allow. But I think that when you have like multiple children, the dynamic kind of changes where they start to not parent themselves, but like I saw that, so I read this somewhere. People think that like with parenting, you have to like really like give a lot of like direct energy to the child, right? I think the more you have, the less that's a thing, because the children start playing those roles, and it's not like
Okay.
they're parenting each other. No, it's more like they're just because it teaches the other kids to have some semblance of responsibility, right? People who have like big families and a lot of siblings, they know this. It's like the older they entertain one another, like Sakina just said. They if one is older, then this it's like they kind of look up to their older sibling and they kind of lead a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's you still have influence, but it's more so like the behavior is modeled, right? I think if
Okay.
you just have like one child, that's when it's like you
Mm,
gotta, you know,
okay. I also imagine if I marry some pressure, that's easier said than
gotta
done.
keep filling her up. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
getting
the way
late.
I'm going to keep my
Getting
hands
late.
off of her. So,
Gotta keep going, huh?
yeah.
Gotta keep going, right? And then Pilates immediately. Then immediately Pilates. We're doing
Mm-hmm.
Pilates. We're doing Pilates at the hospital. We wipe them juices up. All right. Let's assume the position. Let's go ahead and let's get the downward dog going. Let's go ahead and get you back right,
Yeah.
because we
Those,
need
those
more.
6 week gaps are going to be busy weeks.
Right.
You know, we're going to get some work done. And we're going to get back to it.
100%. 100%. 100%.
That's true. You know, thinking about that now, yeah, that would probably be easier said than done, unless I got like a vasectomy or something.
Right.
Because I know will marry some pressure. Absolutely. That's not even a question.
That's not always necessary. I snapped back and had a six pack again a week after my son. Super, I'm noticing a pattern with your comments. There'd be slight brags. You know, Super be commenting some shit. She'd be like, ladies, you know what's really good, a good static environment? Yacht clubs. I remember when I had a yacht club membership. That's a good static environment. It'd be like a little subtle brag, like, hey, let me drop this off on you real quick. Drop it off on your head tap.
Smart people do that a lot.
Oh, I believe everything you say, Super. I believe everything. I believe the yacht club. I remember the abs. I believe all that. It'd be funny how you drop it, though. It'd be funny how you just drop that in there. You got the six pack right now? Or is that in the past? I feel like Danny knows the answer to this question already.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Do you have the six pack right now, Super? It's a 4 pack. Hey, 4 pack is still.
That's still pressure.
4 pack is
It's
elite.
still mad pressure.
4 pack is elite. It ain't even no just.
With the obliques.
4 pack is elite. And you're how old, Super? Or you can give me an estimate. You don't have to actually say. I know some women are weird about that. Or how young are you, Super? You do a little goofy shit like that with women. Like, let me bypass your emotions. How young are you? Thank you. I'm 45 years young.
I'm 62 years young.
Why do we have to do that goofy shit? Just tell me how old you are. Okay, 38. With a 4 pack, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's
When
impressive.
God said, "Let there be light," I was the one that hit the switch.
Look what Super just did
That's
again.
how God
Look,
made
Super, oh, real quick. Super just did it one more time. She said, "No one guesses my age though, so I'm good." You see, she can't help herself. She can't fucking help herself. That wasn't even needed. She can't help herself.
We
Jesus
got your
Christ.
house with it.
Jesus Christ, bro. But anyway, yeah, with the kids, like I definitely want more for sure. The only thing that I grieve is my son's so old. He's not old. He's 9. He's going on 10. But I would have loved for him to have like younger siblings. That was something that me and his mother discussed. She was not for it. She was not for it. I think like it traumatized her so much having them. because he cried. My son,
Oh,
my first of all, Mary, when do I subtle brag? Okay, I'm just telling y'all the truth, my experience. If I send you a video of my son crying, he gets embarrassed when I show him it, because he can sing, right? It's so high pitched. He would cry so loud that people would stop us and be like, is something wrong? Like, do y'all need to go to the hospital? I'm like, no, he just cries like that. Just him. That's how he cries all day. That's what he does.
damn.
He just cries. Thanks for the reminder, though. I was trying to disassociate, but I'm glad you brought my attention back to this loud, disturbing noise.
That is
All day
something
long.
I used to do a lot. Like, I used to dissociate hard when people cried. Like, I think there was one time my mother was trying to vent me, and she's, like, bawling out. And I'm just, like, dead ass just staring her down.
Right.
I was like, what do you want me to do? I've developed a lot more emotional capacity to hold
Right.
space for people, but I was awful at that stuff. I just didn't know what to do. Like, Windows was blue screening on me when people would cry.
Oh, brother, tell me about it. I just at 35 figured it out. I remember people used to cry in front of me. I was like, oh no, I Control Alt Delete. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah. I did it like step at a time. Like, I used to do like that shoulder tap.
Right.
Then I put like the hand over the shoulder. And I
Right.
eventually started giving someone like a hug and comforting them. Then I got to the point where I was able to ask them questions and let
Oh,
them
you went
get
too
through
far.
and express
You
how
went
they
too-
feel.
you
So
went too
I
far.
did step at a time.
You went too far. I'm still bad with it. Unless it's like my lady or something like that. I'll do the hug.
No, this is for people that matter to me. Like, I'm not doing this for strangers or
No,
people I
same.
don't know that well.
Mm-mm. I could love you and still feel this way. Hug.
Oh,
Now I'm
No,
looking.
no.
You better not get that snot.
oh.
It's
it's like-
cashmere.
Yeah.
Huh? What?
If it's like one of my sisters or something, absolutely. I'll give them a hug, pull them in. I'm like, there.
Yeah.
Give them a big old bear hug.
Yeah, family
you know.
is like that. Like I said, a relationship, fine. But like people who like are extended relatives or like friend. It was like one of my homeboys like father died, and I was in the most awkward situation possible because one of my other homeboys told me, "They're like, oh, Mr. Paul died." So I went over to the crib, and all my friends were over there. I was late because I got the message late. So I got there late, and when I got there, everybody was leaving. I'm like, where y'all going? We've been here for hours. I said, fuck, I go inside now. It's just me, the mom, and one of my friends who's like the son, right? And they were holding everything together for the group. When the group left, they both started shouting at one another, blaming each other. I'm just sitting in, they're shouting like this. I'm just here. Just frozen, don't know what to do.
Do you
Have
a
no
question,
idea.
beloved?
Oh my God, bro. I was like, I've never been so uncomfortable if I could raise Lazarus from the dead, I would have been like, rise and get me out of this uncomfortable situation.
I just picture you sitting there looking at him, and
Bro.
you're like, so, do you have a question?
I
can help
wanted
you
to
with?"
raise him from the dead so bad. Where is he? Where's the body? Just stop. Like, get up. Can you get up? Stop playing. These motherfuckers get on my nerves. Just rise. All right, we good now? Jesus Christ. But that was a very awkward situation. We went to the funeral, and she looked like they told me there was a memorial for him because he worked at the hospital. I worked at the hospital as well. So I went to the hospital. I went to the memorial service thinking that everybody was going to be there. Yet again, I've been in so many awkward situations. It's like, what's the Jim Carrey movie where it's like the TV shows on him?
Oh, the Truman
Right,
Show?
that's me, man. I just notice everything. Anytime something is happening, I'm there, I'm noticing it, or I'm in it. And I'm like, why does this keep happening? That's where all these stories come from. I'm always in the situation. So I'm like, oh, everybody gonna be at the memorial service. That's not what happened. What happened was his wife was there. There was a lot of people his wife didn't know, and there was me. So when she needed emotional support, guess who she came to? The only person she recognized. So she looking at me You know? I'm like, not again. More
Can I pay
awkward
someone
moments.
to take this role?
Can we please bury this motherfucker because he's created so many awkward moments for me. I can't take this shit. So she comes with me crying, and I'm like, she's like crying, waiting for me to respond. She's like this, and I'm like looking at her. I'm just looking at her, and it's almost like she's like, hey, like what? Your line, right? Oh shit, here, come here. That's all right. Oh, white woman, that's all right. You gotta check. You gotta check for the snot. You better watch the snot now. You clean. Get that together. You got some tissue? Give the tissue now. All right. There. I'm literally looking at my watch as I'm patting. I'm like counting the steps. You know when you're dancing, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm doing 1, 2 with steps of a hug. I'm like, I extend my arms, then I clasp, lean, whisper. It's okay. I'm forgetting something. Oh, pat, rub it out. Check. She's still going. All right. What I do now? Okay, keep rubbing. That was literally like, that's how I processed it. 100%. I haven't seen them since intentionally because I'm like, if I see you again, something weird is going to happen. So I'm going to keep my distance.
Oh.
For sure. Better now, though. That was a good practice. Being someone's emotional support.
I might occasionally do it for like my close friends, just because I know a lot of times there's some men that just nobody gives them space for their emotions, at least if it's not in a masculine manner. So sometimes I might just talk to them and comfort them when they have kind of a need to express those emotions. But
right.
I only do this with like close friends.
Right.
You know, validate their feelings.
Yeah, it's better now once you understand the concept of like being a masculine container and know that, again, presence. You just got to be present with them in that experience. You don't really need to do anything. You just need to be there with them.
Yeah.
Right? So then you're just the container for that experience.
This is one of those parts of containment I've been thinking and writing about. Like there's like a distinct difference between acknowledging someone and like validating them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes that can be mixed up when you're trying to be a container in itself. You know, because it's kind of like you told me, like if you're hugging people and you're kind of comforting them, it could be way too much versus just acknowledging them or letting them feel seen for the moment when they're having a moment. You know,
I feel like everything needs to be solved right then, right? I still struggle with that sometimes. It's because we're so solutions oriented, just generally as men. Usually, if you have any kind of masculinity within you, you're probably like, okay, we'll do this, right? And it's like you have to stop that tendency and just be like, hold space, like Hannah just said. It's like you just here in the now, and you just hold that tension. Because you want the solution because you're trying to resolve the tension. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because
you hit the nail on the head. Like you get too solutions oriented. You just kind of like, you don't really hold much space for them. And it's like an empathy fail and you break the tension. But if you always validate every single thing, I think that's like, you're leaning too heavy on the safety side. Whereas like when you take the time to just acknowledge and hold space for people, you're containing, you know, in a proper manner for a lot of these engagements. At least that's how I've visualized it so far. I need to take some time to write it through and process my thoughts on that. But
yeah, if you can visualize your things, it'll be dope. I'm not very visual as a person. Made it very hard to be a screenwriter. I had to close my eyes and be a Jimmy Neutron. Think. All right, have a visual now. But visual A will be gold for some of these concepts.
I want to do some graphics with my writing. Something that just puts what I'm visualizing there and then being able to explain it in written word in a manner that makes it make sense, you know, in a non-tism brain, that is. You know?
Right. Let me ask this question real quick. I have a question. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years. And I want to get married, but he hasn't proposed. All right, love. 5 years in, it gotta be a conversation now. So here's what you do. You don't put any pressure on him. This isn't ideal, by the way. The ideal would be he just marries you. He just proposes, but he doesn't seem like he's going to do that. So you gotta put some fire up under that ass. Okay. The way that you do that is you say, "Hey, listen, no pressure, but I kind of feel like I want to be married. Obviously, haven't really always been honest about that, and I understand that's not what you want. I get it, but like in the next year or two, if you don't feel like we're gonna get married in the next year or two, then I would rather just go ahead and just go our separate ways so we can both find what we're looking for." That's it. We say it like that. It's not pressure. It's not an argument. You just kind of let him know that. He might get mad. You don't have to get mad with him, but like you have to communicate that, right? Because it's also what should happen. If he's not going to marry you, then it's like, okay, let's break up so that we can go do it. Right? What Isaac says is also a good point. Let him maintain his agency. But Isaac, what I would also advise is a lot of men get comfortable in the relationship and don't really need to. They don't. We aren't typically conditioned or oriented to pedestalize marriage the way that women are. So a lot of guys will waste a lot of women's time. And that's a very difficult situation to be in, right? Because no woman wants to have that conversation. But sometimes you have to. Let's get clarity. Because some wait a decade and it never happens. Now, if you're in that situation, then the mistake was really made earlier. Remember, I always say, a lot of these times, the mistake was made sooner, right? What was the mistake? Typically, you move in together, do all that kind of stuff. Now there's no need to get married. Imagine if you were dating a guy and he's like, let's move in together. And you're like, no. He's like, why, babe? Because he's going to want to because he wants to bust more nuts. Right? Wants to bust as many nuts as possible. Ain't that right, Danny?
Yeah, get that
So-
unlimited package.
Right. So you probably want to live together. And you're like, well, I'm only going to move in with my husband. Now there's a carrot. Now there's a motivation to do it. There's a motivation to do it now. Take away all the motivation to do it, it's like you can't be surprised that he's not really urgently trying to. Right? So that's the situation. So the mistake is often made sooner. Like the other caller who had the long distance relationship. His mistake was he wasn't really in a place where he could have optionality with women. He locked in with one, and it made him very needy towards that one. The mistake was made earlier, and it created the conditions for him to be in the future. I had a viral video that I made. It was like, I told men, it was such a good video the way I opened it. I was like, you need to be willing to leave your relationship, right? They're like, what do you mean? You mean be toxic? I'm like, no. I said, man, you need to be willing to leave your relationship. You absolutely must be willing to leave your relationship. And having this willingness will only make your relationship stronger. That's a great hook for a video. Because you immediately go, what do you mean? How does me leaving my relationship make the relationship stronger? And it's like, it does, right? Because when you stay the man who she chose originally, stay on your purpose, you keep your social life, right? You don't make the typical sacrifices other men make when they get in relationships. They cut their friends off, or they see them very rarely. They don't have a social life anymore, right? They become the family man, and now they only have the woman is the only like kind of social experience he had. Like my man said on the call, we do everything together. Like that's a good thing. It's not a good thing. I don't want to do everything with you. I want you to have your life, I have my life, and then we have a shared life. Everything. I want to do everything with you. Even this comes from someone who was anxiously. Even when I was anxious, I didn't want to do everything with you.
No, not at all.
I told my lady, you have your girls trip, I have my guys trip. I was like, I have 4 trips a year. You have your girls trip, I have my guys trip, right? Because women need to spend time around women because they need to. That's how they replenish their femininity. That is a way for them to replenish their femininity. Men need to. I know they started young, so that's a fair point. But men need to spend time around men because that's how we. That's one of the ways we replenish our masculinity, right? So guys are like, oh, she can't go on a girls trip. It's not the trip, it's the girls she's going with. That's the problem. And if you're in that situation, again, you made the mistake earlier because why'd you choose someone with friends like that?
Right? You can't be hanging out with Optimus Prime and the Autothugs.
Right. It ain't the trip. It ain't the trip, it's who she going with. That's your problem. So why'd you get someone who had questionable friends like that? That's all it is. That's all it is. So yeah, I mean your girl should be able to go somewhere with her or not Jamaica. What are the woman equivalent or female equivalent to like Colombia and Thailand?
White girls go to Turks and Caicos. Black women go to Jamaica.
Well, they're safe from Mr. O'Neill because he
the
likes
Asians go.
the chocolate. Miami is the equivalent.
Miami or Jamaica is my understanding.
When I seen the clay on the tatas in Jamaica, I'm like Mufasa. You'll never go there. Don't let me catch you. You stay in the Pride Lands. You ever get over there, there's gonna be some problems. Now going to Jamaica with the clay tatas. How do I get a gig like that? Miami, where the tricks are. Depends on how fire a girl is. If she's a 7, she can go to Miami. She'll be all right.
She'll survive.
She not getting what she thinks she about to get in Miami. She's gonna come back upset. Upset. I done been to Miami.
I feel like a very specific phenotype lives in Miami. Like a lot of pressure. My understanding is not seen as pressure in Miami. That's usually where they do a lot of the extra work.
Every woman I know from Miami got work done.
Yeah.
All of them. So you going out there with your little brittle behind. You know what I mean? You bow-legged and shit. All right, bow-legged.
Yeah.
Bow-legged Becky. Then you going to Miami to get a trick.
Hostile environment for the cutie patooties.
Go ahead, dude. Have fun. Have fun in Miami. I don't know many women out there that aren't in the gym. Right. They look good. They look good. Remember my first time going to LA, I was like, I was upset. I'm like, where are the beautiful people at? I don't know, I was young. I thought like LA meant all beautiful people. And I saw busted motherfuckers there. I was like, whoa, where are you coming from? Where are all the beautiful folks at? They're there. It's just, there's also a lot of normies as well.
Right.
No,
They don't look me at all.
What?
The ones that get the work done.
No, you ain't seeing good work. You ain't seeing good work. That's why he said that. I dated a woman who had her body. She had the mommy makeover. She made me feel her up on like one of our dates. She was like, "I'll feel him." I was like, "Love, I don't want to feel him." And she just grabbed my arm. All right, we here now. Let me go ahead and take the whole tour. Couldn't tell the difference, bro. You could not tell the difference. I said, "There's no way that's fake. There's no way that's fake." She's like, yeah. So I paid top dollar for these. I said, "Get out of here." Voice just went up. "Get out of here." That's why you really shocked. Your voice goes on awkward.
Really?
Get out of here. Really? Okay. And she showed me pictures of how they used to look. I said, wow. I said, wow. I had everything done.
For science, of course.
It was funny because we had matched on like a dating app and she only showed like her name was Jewel. Real name, by the way, at stripper. Real name was Jewel. I said, your fate was sealed. They knew from birth you was gonna shake ass. Jewel? Real name? Get out of here. Anyway. So, yeah, I saw her on dating app. She was a real pretty face. And then I saw her in person. I was like, God, she had 5 kids.
Jeez.
I didn't even mean to tell you that right then. It's just as I was thinking about her, that memory popped in, and I'm still kind of triggered by it. 5 kids, and she was so bad that I was like, they need a masculine role model in their lives. They absolutely need a masculine. I am nothing. I love the kids. I do love the kids, for sure.
They can use a few more siblings too.
Absolutely. 3 or 4 baby daddies? About 3. We went to Starbucks on the first day. She came. I was like, God, where was all that? I'm not even like Mr. like super thickums either. You look at my track record, a lot of chicks be petite. But I'm also an appreciator of a variety. So when she came in, I was like, oh, where did all that come from? And then, we sat down, drank the coffee. She tried to hide the fact that she was a stripper too. That she used to be one. And she was like telling me stories, and I'm like, I'm hearing plot holes and shit like that. There's plot holes in the story.
I would have assumed stripper once I learned her name. Like, I feel like it would have just been
right.
determined.
I wasn't green. I was green with that shit. I wasn't green about women. I had never, I wouldn't date a woman who was a exotic dancer. Not seriously. If I knew that going in, I would be like, no, thank you.
Gotcha.
So, hold on 1 second. Buddy said, I want to thank you, bro. What's going on, man? You got a good result?
We finally locked down Charisse.
I want to see what Buddy got to say. Might got a little W.
Buddy was moving crazy.
My conversation changed so much, shit clicking. Okay, so you getting some results with like the playful assumptions. You starting to get a little bit more bites. You starting to get more bites with little tweaks we made.
When you and Charisse getting married?
Yo, send me some screenshots, big dog, so I can see what you're talking about. And for anyone else who wants coaching, the 1 hour coaching call, which she's referring to, the icon right there, bottom of the screen, hit that, shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help, I will send you the link to book your call. My man, yes, we worked on a little bit of like tweaking messaging, amongst other things. But yeah, that's a big one. That's the thing I like doing, is because it's like with these coaching calls. He said marriage not even on the radar. So apparently his options increase. That's what I'm talking about, big dog. I got options increase like a motherfucker. But like I go deep first, and then it's like I like doing the behavior. I like doing the surface level shit too, the behavioral tweaks. Yeah. But a lot of times I can't get there in the 1 hour call. The 1 hour call, I try to do surgery, like deep shit. And then if people come and get like the 3 call package that I have as well, then we can start layering up and like doing like the surface level stuff. With none of the women so far have I even gotten to behavioral shit, like femininity, all that kind of stuff, inviting, like being more inviting and all that kind of stuff. It's been like attachment style identity work. Appreciate you. But
yeah, they have some deep work, don't they?
Right. Because it's like, it's more things we can do. It's like we do the deep stuff, but I haven't applied the 3 pillars of attraction to you yet. We ain't discussed spark and safety yet. Thank you, Raina. But we got to work from the inside out. We got to handle like the shit that's really fucking you up first, and then go to the deepest layer of the onion first, and then work our way out. And then on the back end, we start tweaking the surface level behaviors, which still matter. And it's not taught. That's the gap in the market that I'm seeing. Both men and women have not been taught the dance of attraction. They don't know it. They're stepping on each other's feet.
Yeah.
So, like, women complain about it, but they also don't know the dance. They also can't do it. They don't know their role.
Right. Right.
right? It's been conditioned to think everything's the man's fault, everything's on the man. It's like, no, you have an important role to play as well, and you don't know it because it used to be taught, passed down. Now what's being passed down is like defensive strategies. Like we talked about this before.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, we've touched on this.
So yeah, I'm glad to see you got some results, big dog. Hell yeah. Hopefully more is coming.
Yeah, I need to see some of that motion in the chat now, so I can wing for you.
Yeah, he's gonna be
We're
good.
gonna see you in action, Groove.
He's gonna be good because Groove is funny. I was telling him on the call. I'm like, you're funny. I'm like, you have humor is the great equalizer.
Mm-hmm.
Humor is the great equalizer, bro. For a man, it's like you funny. Not being a clown, that's different. But like you funny. What woman doesn't like a funny man? All of them do.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
That's it. That's it. Anyway, D Money, I know you gotta go ahead and take it home. I'm about to go ahead and lay it down myself. People, if you are new here, make sure to follow. I go live daily. I'll be live again tomorrow at noon Eastern time. If I didn't get to your question tonight, I will get to it then. Again, if you want coaching, hit the Service Plus button at the bottom of the screen. Shoot me a message. I'll ask you about your situation. If I can help, I will send you a link to book your call. Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I will see you all tomorrow. Y'all take care.